Hello everybody, this is the Vikstrand. Today we are going to talk about a now long forgotten subgenre to the movie industry. It turns out not only is this movie that we're going to talk about today, The Stunt Man, based on a book, which sounds weird, but it is also a part of a very big trend that was in the 70s, which ended with this one, the movies about stuntmen. Now, I didn't know that existed, and that is saying something. Let's look today at one of my favorite cult movies of all time, The Stunt Man. Is in a diner. All of a sudden, he is being arrested by the police. For what? We don't know. Who is Cameron? We don't know that either, but we will find out eventually. Yes, we will. He manages to escape from the police. He walking through a wood, and not an enchanted one, although you could have said that that was actually what happened. And he stumbles across a small bridge, where all of a sudden an old car comes and drives into the river. It vanishes. And then all of a sudden, he's in a World War I battlefield. Has he traveled backwards in time? Well, what is this? No, it's actually not a time-traveling movie. He has stumbled across a movie shoot. A movie shoot of a World War I epic, directed by Eli Cross. We'll get to him in a second. However, the gallant knight of Cameron decides to save an old woman who is drowning. However, it turns out that this is not an old woman, but Nina Franklin, the star of the show, played by Barbara Hershey, and in makeup in this case, because she plays herself in the movie both as a young woman and an old woman. And he is offered not a role, but a job as the stuntman, because the stuntman was killed in a car accident. You might remember the car off a bridge thing. Cameron might be a novice to the business of stuntmanery. Is that the right term? Stuntmanery? Well, never mind. But he picks it up soon and soon leaps from rooftop to rooftop, being chased by the most dumb, incompetent, and officially most ineffective henchmen I have ever seen in my entire life. They're worse than stormtroopers. Whether or not they are even worse than the guards from Masters of the Universe remains to be debated. But my money is actually on these guys. They are bad. They're very bad. I don't know if this was a thing of trying to lay low, or if it was an attempt of, just go with the situation, because is this a hiding in plain sight kind of a thing? I guess it is, in some sort of way. But as the stunts become more and more dangerous, Cameron begins to fear, is this turning into a snuff film? Is Eli Cross, oh yes, we will get to him in a second, don't you worry. Is Eli Cross, in fact, planning to make this movie into a snuff film, with him being the one that's being, well, snuffed out? Only time will tell. What has he done? What secrets does he harbors? Stay tuned to find out. Let's talk for a second about Eli Cross before we move on to this one. Jesus Christ, what a performance that is. Peter O'Toole channels his inner David Lean, aka the director who made Lawrence of Arabia, which was his first Oscar snub. Thanks a lot, Academy Awards. He is the thing that holds this together. He is such a megalomaniac, two slices of fruitcake mental nutcase that is purely driven by making this movie and doesn't care about anything else, who he hurts. And I guess when he went to a car dealership, he asked to have a convertible because he couldn't fit his head into it and needed more headroom. He is the true heart and soul of this movie. Also, Peter O'Toole got an Academy nomination for this one. Again, nice job, isn't the Academy Awards great and stuff? You can watch this movie in two ways. The first way you can watch this movie is that this movie is an inconsequential mess of a movie where pace, genres, modes, atmosphere constantly changes and nothing really makes any sense, and it is a big mess of things. Or you can view it as I view it, as a very unique, as a small little masterpiece, a complete unique experience that is very entertaining, very well played, and has a very smart script. It jumps between action, fake action that is, but still action, slapstick humor, gripping drama, intense thriller, and interesting character studies. You also have a lot of interesting characters to latch on to. Cameron just might be one of the least interesting characters in this one, even though he is our focus, but he's still interesting because we don't know that much about him. This is the key elements of giving interest to your story. Everybody from small side characters up to Eli Cross himself has their own small little story arcs and has interesting characters that are surprisingly well written. You can tell that this is a passion project from Richard Rush. It's his baby from start to finish. He's the producer, he's the writer, he's the director for this one. And it should also be mentioned that some parts of this movie is a little bit dragging and plodding and does have, some pacing issues, but I'm okay with it because the rest of the movie is so great. It is also fascinating because you never quite know where you are. Are we shooting a movie or are we in the movie that we're watching? And also, because you're flipping around a little bit between the timelines in the movie, you can sometimes get rather confused. And it is very entertaining to see this World War I epic come to pass, because it is so surreal and so ridiculous at some points, but at other points you really feel that there is a gripping drama and an interesting story to be told here. It is just told in a rather chaotic and bizarre form, to be frank. It is also interesting to see because this entire movie is played almost exclusively from the eyes of Cameron. He's our eyes and ears, so whatever information we have is the information he has. There are a few occasions where they betray this storytelling form, and that also kind of annoys me. It could have been done in an even more pure form. It's also a lot of fun, I think, that this movie got multiple Academy Awards nominations for script and the director, and of course O'Toole, who didn't got it. You bastards. I love movies about movie making, and this is one of my favorites, to be frank. It is a very interesting, it is a very fascinating, a very well played, entertaining movie that is sort of ridiculous but sticks the landing very nicely. 88 points I'm giving this one, and it is one of the most underrated cult movies that has been made in the early 80s. They don't make these kind of movies anymore. So, have you seen The Stunt Man? Do you like it? Comment below and tell me if you think this movie is great or if it is a silly bunch of nonsense. Next time I'm coming from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.